Hey, this is Anthony with RevZilla TV, where you can watch, decide, and ride. Welcome to our detailed breakdown of the new Nolan N86 helmet, available at RevZilla.com. So as you can see in front of me, here's the new Nolan N86, complete redesign for 2013. You notice a few key changes, and you can see right to my left, I have the original N85. Very similar helmet, completely different aesthetic. So this was more of a swept look in the 85 with some foil mesh to set it off, and really you're looking at a very universal sports style, touring style helmet, can be worn in any riding position. Again, remember, you're polycarb and you're gonna be DOT and ECE rated. But if we look at it, you can see this helmet's going to have some of these subtle mesh accents, and here in the N86, they've gone away with that swept look, they've gone more angular, and now you're getting, in my opinion, it is an upgraded vent scheme here in the N86, where you have bigger scoops that are easily controllable, seated on the top of the helmet, and that's going to be one of your major differentiators, one of your major changes. They've also upgraded the interior lining on the helmet. You can see it's red now, it's going to be a bit more microfiber in nature. The last thing that they changed here on the N86 for 2013 is going to be the fit. We've traditionally seen Nolan be a bit rounder, round to neutral. I'm going to call the new Nolan fit, the N86 neutral to intermediate oval, which is nice because I think for the American market, it's going to fit more riders, although there was definitely a contingent of Nolan riders that absolutely loved how the Nolan N85 and previous models fit because they were that rounder shape. So keep in mind, moving forward, N86, it is going to be a new Nolan fit if you're used to wearing Nolan helmets. So keep in mind that fitment change, but remember, we do ship for free. And as always, love for you to click right here, subscribe to us at RevZilla TV, and leave me your comments, your questions, or your feedback on the N86. Now, diving into some of the exterior features, let's work from the outside in. Remember polycarb, I talked about the shell shape. This is a size medium. We weighed it at 3 pounds, 9.8 ounces. So it has gotten heavier year over year. They're only using one shell size, so you have to beef up the EPS liner to fit a lot of different heads. That is one of the negatives on this helmet because it is polycarbonate around that $200 mark. You're seeing shell shapes that aren't, or shell sizes that aren't changing. It's only one, whereas something like a Scorpion XO500 is going to have 3 different shell sizes. Something like the S700 from Shark, again, has that drop-down sun visor, but is going to be a little bit more unique of a feature set here than the N86. Now, starting with the chin bar and moving our way back, if we look at some of the changes here, you can see different chin vent style. We've already talked about the top vents on top. You almost have this Venturi-style exhaust port here in the back, Darth Vader style. Again, very different than the big scoop that we saw on the N85, which had a big spoiler, a big wing that had the Venturi vent tucked down on the bottom. And again, that's more of the angular choice they're making going into the N86. Now, if we look at the face shield mechanism, exactly the same, no changes. Polycarb UV blocking, very simple to change. It does come with a pin lock lens in the box. You have detents here, and remember, to detach it's very simple as well. You're gonna move it up, pop that, and it pops off right there from the side. Very simple to operate, very simple to put back on. Now, while we have that up, you'll see on the side here that I do have my drop-down sun visor system, and that is really one of the key claims to fame here on the N86. You're not gonna have to do a lot of shield changing. So I have my drop-down sun visor operated here on the left. With my finger, you can see the mechanism there, very smooth, does not have a snap at either side, but I am the fan of how that works. It comes down very crisply, very smoothly. If I start to work my way inside, again, if I had to nitpick a little bit, it's something that Nolan's traditionally done because they do have their own Bluetooth communicator system. They typically make their helmets non-friendly to third-party comm units. So you're gonna see this neck roll that's done in hard plastic. It kind of has this trim. You could use a sticky mount for a third-party comm system, but you're not going to be able to use a clamp mount, which is the most popular way, so keep that in mind. Moving to the guts, you're going to see it's a wicking liner. They have redesigned the guts, and then you have a quick release micrometric lock. This is something that Nolan does on a lot of their helmets. It is one of those things that you might like double D-ring, you might like micrometric, but keep that in mind when you're investing here in Nolan helmet. As I start to pull it apart and work my way down, my cheek pads come off simply enough. And again, with them being micrometric, sometimes take a little finagling to get out. You're going to see here, nice and smooth, lots of a large ear cutaway for a speaker system on the helmet if you were to go Nolan or third party, depending on how you wanted to mount it. Pull my other side out here really quickly as well. Tucked in with the neck roll. Notice I have my micrometric, that comes out. 3 big snaps, a multitude of different density foams. Nolan's actually using a different foam now around the temples, so these are more eyeglass friendly. So you're going to be able to slide an eyeglass in there and not have it get in the way. It won't create a pressure point for you. So one of the things that I do like is that they're using the connection points here up along the brow for the comfort liner, but I do find it to be one of the more difficult comfort liners to completely remove. And as I pull it back, I'm going to show you the venting scheme on the inside. 5 to 10 millimeter vent holes, big channels that go along the back. Again, I think that's solidly designed for the price point. So remember, in all, keep in mind that you're looking, there's definitely a bang for the buck factor here. There's definitely a lot of helmet for the money, but again, do I think it's the best in class at that price point for its feature set? I think there's some other guys that are using multiple shell shapes. I think it's kind of right there in the middle of the pack. As always, you don't have to take my word for it. Click right here, read other rider reviews at RevZilla.com, see what other riders are saying about the N86. Give our Gear Geeks a shout at see us at RevZilla.com or 877-792-9455. Thanks for watching our detailed breakdown of the new Nolan N86 helmet. I'm Anthony. We'll see you next time.